Good morning, boys and girls. Good to see you again today. I'm so excited. We're going to have a Zoom meeting later today at 1 o'clock. So if you can join us, we're going to do a little show and tell time. So if you have maybe a stuffed animal you want to share, or maybe your real pet at your house you would like to share, that'd be great. Maybe a favorite toy, whatever you would like to share, we're going to do that at 1 o'clock. So remember, we're using the thumbs up when we want to talk so that we can hear all our friends. I know it's exciting time and I look forward to it. All right, well, we need to get started on our work today. And today I want to remind you that we are in a brand new month. If you remember, yesterday we talked about it being April the 1st. So I know if yesterday was April the 1st, today would be April. And what comes after the 1st? Very good. You should be saying the 2nd. Now remember, when we write second, we use a 2. But today, Thursday, remember our days of the week that we learned, we always would sing those days of the week. Let's do that. We haven't done that in a while. Do you remember those? Our days of the week. First of all, how many days are there? There's 7. 7 days of the week. 7 days of the week. 7 days of the week, and I can say them all. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is the last day, and I can say them all. Great job. And today, of course, is Thursday. This is where I have to stick my tongue out a little bit and say Thursday. And we're in our brand new month, April. Hear that old sound at the end, long A. And it's April the 2nd. And remember, that is with a 2. So we're starting another month. And of course, beautiful spring weather. I hope you're enjoying all these sunshiny days. All right, we've looked at a couple of verses this week that we had already learned. These are verses that we already know. Remember Proverbs 18:24. There is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Who is that friend, boys and girls? Yes, you should be saying Jesus, of course. He is a friend to us. We can always talk to him in prayer. And then another verse that we looked at that we had already learned before in Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who, remember this big word, strengthens me. All right, let's say that again together. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Awesome job. Let's remember those Bible verses as we're working through our work and as we're spending time with our moms and dads and brothers and sisters. All right. Today we have a story, of course. It's kind of silly and it's got some funny pictures on here, but we're using our imagination in this story today, and it's called Where the Wild Things Are. This is such a great story using our imagination with some crazy looking pictures on here, but I think you're going to enjoy this. Maybe this is a story that you've read before, Where the Wild Things Are. And you guys know what being wild is. All right. This is Max. Everybody say hi, Max. All right. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. You know, mischief, it's kind of a big word. That means he was being a little crazy. Maybe more crazy than he should be with mommy and daddy. And another. So he was kind of acting up. Maybe not doing the best about his obedience. So his mother called him Wild Thing. And Max said, I'll eat you up. And he was sent to bed without eating anything. I think he got a little wild for mom and dad, didn't he? That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. And grew. And it grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. Look at those great pictures, boys and girls. Love those pictures. You see the moon in the back? And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. Look at that. His name is on the boat. You can sound that out. Max. Max. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, "Be still," and he tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once, and they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. And made him king of all wild things. And now, Max said, let the wild rumpus start. All right, are you ready to be wild? Look at this. Can you do some dancing and some marching? Look at those silly faces. They're having a lot of fun being wild. Swinging. Look at those smiles. That looks like a lot of fun. Big old smiles, having lots of fun together. Now stop, Max said, and he sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. And then all around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. What a great story, boys and girls. I hope you were able to use your imagination in that story as Max was being wild and playing with his imaginary friends, the wild things. All right, well, boys and girls, today we're going to work on our handwriting, and instead of working on one of our handwriting pages, we're going to review our tricky words, and today we're going to use one of these handwriting sheets that was in your packet, and today we're going to be writing some tricky words. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you the tricky words. I want you to practice saying them with me. I know you've been working on them at home. Again, tricky words, these are our sight words, words that we just need to memorize. So let's say these together. 2, remember the number 2. Love. Says. 1, remember the number 1. Done. 4, number 4. Remember to say these with me. Was. Number 8. Yeah, boy, is that ever a tricky word. That's the number 8, remember. Put. Who. From. I bet you're saying them faster than I am. The. We see that tricky word a lot, don't we, boys and girls? Why. We're asking a question. Why do I have to go to bed, Mom? Of. Try to say them faster than I do. My. There's that Y making that long I sound. We talked about that the other day on a special sound. Y can make the long I sound. Your, you guys are fast. All, remember 2 letters, but we only make 1 L sound. Saw. It's a letter A, but we pronounce it for a tricky word. You. Want. Do. That's a lowercase d. To. T-O, remember, to. We want to go outside. Some. Here. Are. Yeah, stick out your tongue just a little bit with that TH. There. Many. Said. Have. It does not follow the magic E, long A, have. All right. So those were the tricky words that we should have locked in our brain and memorized. Today, what I want you to do is I want to take your handwriting paper and I want you to take just your first name. And you see this big old space at the top? You're just going to write your first name only. Remember, we use pencil when we do our handwriting, first name only. And then we are going to write 10 tricky words. Now, Mom and Dad, I'm going to let them pick any 10 they want. Just pick 10. You can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then leave a little space and write 1 up there. If you want to write more, that's fine, but let's do at least 10 tricky words. This is the handwriting paper. It does have a top line, the dotted line. The red line is the line that our letters sit on, unless, of course, it goes under, like a lowercase g. Boys and girls, we've done this before, so you should know how to write your letters on there neatly. When you take your pencil and you write your letters on there, you're also going to practice writing it, spelling it, and saying it. So if Miss Paris picked the tricky word have, she would take her pencil, H-A-V-E, have. So I wrote it, I spelled it, and then I said it. Write, spell, and say. All right, so we're going to write it. H-A-V-E, this is the one I picked, and I'm going to spell it as I'm writing it, and then I'm going to say it. So have. And then if I pick this one, S-A-I-D, I wrote it, I spelled it, I will say it, said. Mom said. So lowercase d, see how my letters, I'm using the top line. My lowercase h and d had to go to the top, but my lowercase a and ve just went to the dotted, but they're all sitting on the red line. All right, now if I did pick a word, let me do one more. Many, M-A-N-Y, the lowercase y is going under the red line, but otherwise they sit on the red line. All right. So, hope you enjoyed our story today, Where the Wild Things Are. What a great story. Remember our 2 verses that we've learned. And go ahead and take your handwriting paper, pencil, name at the top, and you're going to write 10 tricky words. You're going to write them, you're going to spell them, and you're going to say them. Say that with me. Write, spell, say. All right, go ahead and do that, and I know you'll do your very, very best.